Podcast story: The Man Who Fell from the Sky. In December of 1971, the world witnessed one of the strangest disappearances in aviation history, a story that still fascinates investigators, journalists, and conspiracy theorists today. It begins with a man who bought a plane ticket under the name Dan Cooper, later mistakenly reported as D.B. Cooper. He boarded a Northwest Airlines flight from Portland to Seattle, wearing a suit and tie and carrying nothing more than a briefcase. To the flight attendants, he seemed polite, quiet, maybe even boring. But shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a note to one of the flight attendants. At first, she tucked it into her pocket, thinking it was just his phone number, but Cooper leaned in and whispered, "Miss, you'd better read that note. I have a bomb." Inside his briefcase, he showed her wires and red sticks. Then, calmly and politely, he dictated his demands. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle. What's remarkable is how calm he was. He ordered drinks, smoked cigarettes, and even tipped the flight attendants for their service. The plane landed in Seattle, and the FBI delivered the money and parachutes. Cooper then released the passengers, keeping only the crew on board. He instructed the pilots to take off again, heading south toward Mexico at a low altitude, slow speed, with the cabin depressurized. And then, somewhere over the forests of Washington, he jumped into the cold, stormy night with the money strapped to his body. That was the last anyone ever saw of him. The FBI searched for decades. They found some clues, a few of the ransom bills washed up on a riverbank years later, and a tie he had left on the plane. But no parachute, no body, and no trace of the man himself. Who was D.B. Cooper? A professional skydiver? A desperate criminal? Or did he die in the wilderness that night? No one knows. What makes the story so fascinating is that he pulled off something almost impossible. An airliner hijacking, executed with style, calmness, and mystery, then vanished into legend. To this day, more than 50 years later, the case remains unsolved. And somewhere, maybe in the Pacific Northwest woods,